Another thing we're going to need, oh, it's Christmas Eve now, I'm back out in the shop. Another thing we're going to need is some wheels and tires. Not to worry though, I think I might have some. Look, some wheels off of Lincoln. I'm sure they'll be fine. They've been stored properly. Well, I got to take a little air. Best I can tell, it's about an 8-inch wide rim. And it's got dang near 5 inches of back spacing. I don't know if it's going to go in there and not hit the spring or what. Let's find out. And there's the back tires off my Firebird. That's a 15 by 7.5. But I forgot the back space, and I'll go measure it again. Looks like we got plenty of room at the wheel well and the springs. Let me go check the back space. It's 3 3/4. So I think I can do like a 8-inch rim. Let me get my tape measure again. Should be able to do an 8-inch rim. I got 1 1/8 between the springs. Should be able to do an 8-inch rim with 4-inch back spacing and have clearance. Let's take this jack stand out the way and set her on the ground. Get the tire up in the wheel well a little. See what we look like. Well, that's a 255/60/15 on a 7.5-inch wide wheel with 3 3/4 inch back spacing. And I'd say there's 1 inch there. There's probably 1 inch on the inside. I think that rear end's 59 inches hub to hub. The factory is 60, so should be able to fit an 8-inch wheel no problem. And a 255 tire, maybe even a 275. Maybe. I know this side will look hokey, but let's have a look anyway. That's a factory Lincoln wheel with a 16-inch tire. Looks very much like a come home tire, don't it? Yeah, we can't be having that. Alright, let's pick it back up and do something else. So I just spent 20 minutes wandering around looking for my camera, and I found it up there. Because evidently I set it there and then raised the car up. Anyway, let me show you what I'm working on. I welded the bracket from the Explorer emergency brake cable onto the frame there, which lines up pretty good with the 57 factory cable after you remove it from this apparatus, which I think can be removed from the car without any trouble. We don't need that no more getting in our way. So now I need a cable clamp to go here. Another thing I need to do is back that off so I can get a little more adjustment out of it. That adjuster bolt right there. But let me go get my cable clamp. I finally found one. Alright, here it is. A little poison oak right there, but that's okay. It's from an old cable on the tree, which I've been needing to get off there anyway, so. What's that they say? Recycle, reuse, something. Anyway, saves money. We got the guard dogs guarding something. I guess just each other, best I can tell. Looking pretty darn factory, ain't it? I think somewhere I got one of them little things that hooks in a frame. Can be a guide. That might Might cause an annoying rattle. But Chevy trucks and stuff have a little loop. You put a hole in the frame, stick it through there, and it just kind of helps keep it stabilized. I think that'll be okay. Yeah. We can finalize it a little bit more whenever we get the cross member in and so on. Alright, I guess I need to get this mess out of the way. Don't need that no more. And then I need to figure out where I'm going to put my brake line apparatus. I think I need to set the tank back up in there just to see how things are going to clear. That's what I ought to do. Alright, I got the young man to help me out. We put the gas tank back up in there temporarily. And we have determined that sway bar ain't gonna work. It's gonna hit the gas tank. With that big old hoop in it. This side works out pretty good. I could easily make something to hit the frame rail. But then we run into trouble right here. It's gonna hit the gas tank. If the gas tank wasn't there, there'd be no trouble, but I feel like we've been needing a gas tank. So we're gonna keep a gas tank and do something different with a sway bar. And since we've determined all that, I think I'm just gonna take it off. I ain't getting very much done today, but I'm doing a lot of thinking. Let me go show you what I was thinking about now. It's related to that sway bar. It's a bummer the Ford one there won't work, but let me go see about a GM one. Alright, here's what I'm looking at. This is on the back of an Escalade, which I suppose is the same as like a Tahoe or Yukon or what have you. So this one bolts to the bottom of the axle. So let me do a little measuring and summarize what I come up with here. Well, it sort of looks promising. You could put brackets on the bottom of that axle pretty easily, which should give it a little more clearance for the gas tank on the 57. But let me see, I'm not sure where these wind up. The other thing is, this sway bar's pretty big around, but it appears to be hollow. Want to be careful you don't get too big a one in the back. Bigger one in the back than you got in the front. Yeah, I don't think that'll work because it's 44 inches outside to outside of that sway bar, and it's about 44 inches to inside of the spring, so I don't think that'll work. Let me keep looking and thinking. And this is under the back of like a 02 Yukon, which is the same thing as the Escalade, it appears. That won't do me no good. And there ain't one under the back of an 02 2500. So the upshot of it all is I can buy one. It's like 130 bucks or something like that for a kit. Or go looking around junkyard, trial and error. I don't know, let me think about what I want to do here. But the long and short of it with this rear end swap is it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Minimal effort. If you save some brackets off the Explorer, they wind up working pretty nice to work out with your e-brake cables and brake lines. You have to modify the spring pads on the bottom. There's supposed to be a stud coming out right here for the factory shocks. You could make that work if you were really changing the design of the shocks. The only thing I'm not sure about is what's going to happen right here. I've heard that you take a sledgehammer and whack that corner there and then everything will be fine, but if that's what it takes, that's what I'm going to do. got some other stuff to do here. Another thought is, I'm pretty sure when Grandpa was putting this car together, he called me and asked me about POR 15. And I told him it was supposed to be pretty good over rusty stuff, but I hadn't had a whole lot of experience with it at that time. And that is what he used. I think it done alright. The frame was obviously surface rust, but that's what he painted it with. Seemed to be held up fine. Not so much where he didn't get the grease off the body, or it didn't seem to stick real good to caulk there, but so that's an interesting note. Alright, I was just getting ready to use my plasma cutter to cut off that ugliness. I couldn't get to work, and upon further investigation, I think that might be why. It all fell apart. Oh, what the? I've been struggling with my camera there. Alright, I got this put back together. I had to MacGyver it a little bit. Whatever was in there fell apart evidently. So I put a screw and a nut in it. No, I'm not an electrician, but I did buy the advanced home wiring manual from Home Depot some years back. Alright, everything's plugged back up. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, the little light's on. Alright, now maybe I can get back to work. You know, I got an old Milwaukee air hammer, which I've been using for years, but I always thought I'd have some more power. So I bought one of these, kind of cheap. Man, that thing, it does the job. At least for me. I don't know how I got along without it. See there? Got it off. Cut it with a plasma cutter close, and then just use the chisel. Now I just need to clean up where the welds were at a little bit. So I'm just laying under the car here. Well, I'm not laying, I'm sitting in my chair, contemplating. I've got the ugliness from the torch guy off that side, and then the ugliness from the plasma cutter guy on this side. And I put my little cross member in that I bought. I guess that's how it goes, on top of the frame. I haven't read the instructions, if there is any. Looks like it had a floor shift in it at one time. I wonder what happened there. Looks like it's kind of brazed up and stuff. I don't know. I'm wondering if I got to do anything with the transmission tunnel to get that 4L80E to fit. I suppose that's one of the next things I kind of need to do. I need to get that steering column squared away. That's probably what I'll do next. And then put the rest of the steering linkage on it. And then I better start doing something with it. Get the motor mocked up to see how the rest of it's going to be. But it's Christmas Eve. I need to go get cleaned up. We're going to go to a friend's house. And go do that. So thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. That's a tradition. I always ring the bell. Not always. When I think of it, I ring the bell. Don't forget to go to MrHeavyChevy.com. You can buy you a hat or something like that. Some people are complaining about the shipping. I am not in control of that. Shipping is what it is. It's crazy for everything. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. So let me shut up, wrap up, and go get cleaned up.